I thought I'd show you a different corner of my room today because I tidied, so I can sit on my bed again now. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I have this notebook where I plan all of my videos. Every idea I have gets written down in this book. I was reading through the plan I made for this video and the last sentence just said, I just thought I'd share this random late night thought from 9 months ago. So I thought what I'd do instead was talk you through my bullet journal because, where is it? Because I have been bullet journaling since January and it has changed my life. I am way more organised? It's just a way to take the organisation I already had in my head and put it on paper. It just works so well for me. Parts of it are almost like a scrapbook and it's just like my go-to notebook. I still have a lot of other notebooks, but this is the one that organises the other notebooks. I thought I'd do a flip through of my bullet journal so far and show you some of like the key pages. On the first page I have my index, which is where I just note down the key page numbers and the things that I need to refer back to in the future, such as my Netflix password. And then I have my future log, which I'm not using very much because it just isn't, it's just like a summary of my month, so I use it more retrospectively than in a planning way. And then you get to my monthly logs, where I didn't use them much at the beginning of the year, but you can see in March and April that I have something written down for basically every day because that's when I started getting manic busy. And May and June, May is starting to fill up a lot, but June currently is quite quiet because uni finishes and the festival season hasn't started. So I'm planning to be working a lot, but the rotas haven't gone up at work yet, so just seeing how that goes. And then the rest of the year is pretty sparse. And then you get to what my first weekly spreads look like. In January I used to have 2 pages on a day and then a kind of weekly to-do list. And then I have little pages in between of other lists that I like to refer to, such as my New Year's resolutions. I'm going to be writing a vlog post in the next few weeks looking back on my New Year's resolutions and checking in and seeing how they're going. So pages like that are ones that I've put in my index. And then we go to more daily plans. This is the first example of something I did kind of outside of weekly plans. So I did a 4-week healthy eating fitness thing that didn't go very well, to be honest, but this is what I did to plan out everything I was eating, the workouts I was doing. This is where I made a note of everything that was going on and it was really useful. And then this is where I started trying to refine my weekly spreads. So I start the week with a week-long to-do list and then I broke it down by day, but that ended up taking like 3 pages. And then this carries on for a while, another list of TV shows I want to watch. Second year deadlines on page 35, I've only got 1 more. It's due in 2 days, great. And by page 41 is when I start to refine my weekly layout a little bit more and fit it all on 2 pages. As you can see in the top corner on the right page, I've made a note of how I should do it differently on the following week. And that's the thing I love about a bullet journal rather than a diary, is that you can adapt and change how you present everything and figure out what works best for you. And this layout is basically the same as what I do now, but then some of the aesthetic-y bits are slightly different. I tried using a habit tracker, it didn't go very well, another food plan. And you can see how my weekly logs were evolving and they start to look a bit prettier. And there's lots of things ticked off, which is nice. This is where it starts to get a little bit more scrapbooky. I had this postcard on page 49 that I got from Paperchase ages ago before they fired me, lol. And I wanted to put it in somewhere. Eventually I'm hoping to do more little drawings around the outside and fill the page. Now on page 50 are just a couple of cute post-it notes my boyfriend left me. And I wanted to keep them, so I stuck them in. More weekly logs. This is where I start to try and get a bit more like artsy, like this kind of bullet journals you see on Instagram. Skip over these pages. Weekly. Page 59 and 60 are another kind of scrapbooky page. When I was on my work experience at BBC Three, I kept all my train tickets into London. So these are all of the train tickets I used while I was at BBC Three. So page 63 is where I'm keeping note of all my second year results. And this drawing is something I did in January. It's something that Marie Bits and Clips on YouTube, she has a crafty group, and she suggested doing the January challenge was doing a line drawing dividing the page into 30 and then doing a square every day. Now, I can't draw for anything, so I found this line drawing of an elephant on Google, and then I just did one every day, and it was really therapeutic and I really enjoyed it. More notes, more weekly plans. This is something I wanted to talk about. I started printing off these monthly calendars as a way of planning my blog posts and my videos, and it's just another thing that has evolved as I've gone through the journal to try and make this book the only book I use. So when I finished planning, because I have another notebook that I plan all my blog posts in, but I've actually finished that, so I will then come up with a way of planning my blog posts in my bullet journal, and that's something I intend to do with all the notebooks I used, so that one day the bullet journal will be the only thing I carry around. And I've got more weekly to-do lists, money plans and performance things, weekly to-do, weekly money plan, sonar film ideas, weekly mini personal goals in May. See, I had some things that I wanted to try and do in May and I wanted to make a note of them, so I wanted to keep track of everything. Sounds really silly, but it's my little way of kind of engaging with myself, because bright colours and lists. Page 87 is weekly. Page 89 I've made a list of the deadlines that my flatmates and my boyfriend have, and then more food plans. Another weekly. Oh yeah, page 93 is part of that money incentive. I'm trying to have a no spend month. And page 95 is another kind of scrapbooky page. I got some photos printed of my nan because I had this ribbon thing that was given out at her funeral and I wanted to do a little commemoration because I'm a bit of a dork like that. And this is a little bit of an evolution of the blog post planning thing. This one worked much better than the last one because I'm on time with my posts and I'm planning my time better. So my plan for when I print out a June calendar is to have the calendar not just for blog posts, so I'm going to put other things in my life like maybe food planning and like workouts and exercise stuff. So I'm going to have a calendar at the beginning of each month and use it to kind of plan alongside the monthly logs I have at the front of the journal. And that corresponds with the weekly to-do list. This is my to-do list for this week. I've ticked off a lot of the things, which makes me really happy. I was meant to film this video on Wednesday, instead I am filming it now, which is not Wednesday. Page 101, I've tried to make like a May scrapbook page. So far, all I've got is a movie theatre ticket for Guardians of the Galaxy 2 as planning for a birthday party. And then I've already drawn out the kind of skeleton of my weekly log for next week. And then I wanted to do a spread about the units I do in my third year, which I'll be starting in September, because we had a meeting about it last week, so I wanted to make a note of everything I learned in the meeting. And then this is where the bullet journal is taking over from my blogging planning book. So I've got my blog post ideas here that I will then write up onto June's calendar when I print that out and stick that in. And then I've already made the weekly spread for the following week, because I know that then I want to put the June calendar in this spread, because the following week is the end of May and the beginning of June, so I want to make sure that I have the calendar before June starts. So that's my little bullet journal flip through. I'm really glad the battery light has been flashing for the entire of this video, and for context I've been filming for nearly 19 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry it's super long. Thank you for watching. My last uni deadline is on Tuesday, so there will be more content, hopefully more regularly, and more creative content over the summer. I'm very excited. Thank you very much for watching. I think I've said that 3 times now. Are you kidding? The camera literally cut out as I was saying the last goodbye. So I changed the battery and came back just to say, hope you're having a good day and I'll see you next week. Bye. Oh my god, this is like a 20-second clip.